Hey everyone, this is a video to show how we can embed custom pages inside a model-driven app form, not replace them entirely. This isn't really an out-of-the-box feature, but it really should be, and hopefully it will come soon. But what I'm going to show you is a way that you can make it work. This is in Power Apps Ideas. Scott Giroux has posted this. There's currently the ability to embed a Canvas app inside a model-driven app, but you cannot use a custom app in a supported way. Which is a significant gap because custom pages can only really be used when you open them through a ribbon button as a separate dialog. And actually what you would like to do a lot of the time is just have it on the model-driven form as a small section on the form. So I'll show you how I can do it. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can have a custom page like this where you control the height of the page, which is easier said than done, and the width. And you can make it responsive based on that. You can have up to 3 embedded custom pages or Canvas apps on a model-driven form when you're looking at it in the web browser, but only 1 when you're doing it on the mobile phone or on a tablet. So that's just a limitation to be aware of. This is nice because obviously you can control the height of this little custom page thing and you can interact with it. And you can actually pass it context of the form that you're on, like the record ID, and allow you to kind of display things in here and save things in here and change things. And you can stack them up however you like. But the other one that I was looking at is this full screen section. So this is a responsive custom page embedded in a full screen section. And this is quite hard to achieve because if you were to just embed a Canvas app or a custom page directly in the form, in a section of the form, you wouldn't get this behavior where you would be able to control the height of the section properly. You'd end up having a couple of different scroll up and down experiences on the side here. It just is quite confusing for the user. So I'll show you how to achieve both of these. We'll start off with this one. So basically create a custom page, this one. And then you want to go into your settings and you want to make it the width and height, the kind of minimum width and height that you would like the custom page to show. If the screen size is so small that these width or heights are smaller than 200 and 100, it will show scrolling up and down, left, right scroll bars, which is fine, I guess. And then you want to keep it scale to fit off. So that basically allows the controls to fill the available space. So if there's more room than 200 on the width, it will go up to 300, 400, similarly with the height. And then if the height is, it doesn't have to have the aspect ratio locked as well, crucially with this one. Once you've set that to 200, 100, you go to your app and you change the minimum screen height and the minimum screen width to 200, 100 as well. And then just check the actual screen width is the maximum of the app width, which is 200, and the minimum width, which is 200. So if the app width is bigger than 200, it will use that as the width of this little custom page. Otherwise, it would be 200. And similarly for the height. And then you can publish that. And then you can open up your form here, so my test table information form. Open it up here, add any field you want, and then basically add a component, which is a Canvas app component. And to that, you're going to put in your app name, logical name, and your app ID. Once you've done that, you need to then save it and publish it, and then switch to classic mode. When you come into the classic mode, you're going to get an extra option in here, which is this customize button. Once you click that, what that's going to do is going to open up your custom page for you, and it's going to add this model-driven form integration object into it. And what that's going to allow you to do is to use that object to get the GUID of the parent form, model-driven form that you're on. So this test record, this GUID. I won't show you how to do that right now, but that's an important step. And once you've done that, it should all work. You should just see that this will basically respect the height of the app, which I think was 100, and the width, which is 200. As you can see, it's basically twice as wide as it is tall. And it will eventually put scroll bars on it. If I could make that even narrower, but I can't in this example. That's that one. The full screen one is set up similarly. In this time I've done, I've just kept it as the 6:9 default size and scale to fit off. But what I've done is I've basically put the minimum screen height and width right down to like 50 and 64. That's all I've done. And then I've put a container on the screen and I've put that there at 2020 position, and I've made the height of that dynamic parent.height minus 40. So I've put like a 20 pixel padding all around it. And the reason I've done that is because when we eventually come to display it, you'll see that this goes right across the edge, and I wanted the 20 pixels to bring it in line with this top section, and to have this bit of 20 break here, not to have it right up against the top or right down below against the bottom. Same thing, go into the form, open it in the classic mode, and then hit that customize button to add the model driven app integration element in. I haven't actually done that in this case, so you can see it's not there. It's there. Publish it, and then what you'll find is that you do get the custom page displaying like this, which is great, but it's basically not got the right height on it. So the width would be dynamic and it automatically would adjust the width as you scrolled the width in and out, but the height wouldn't change, and you'd have like a 2 scroll bar experience on the right here. So I had to do a couple of things to fix that. There's no way to actually set the height of a section on the form when you're using a canvas page or a custom page embedded. It basically calculates the height of that section based on the width of it. So there's no way to overwrite it other than using JavaScript, which is what I've done. So I've followed a couple of blogs to make this work. The first one was this one, which goes through the problem. You can see the double scroll bars problem, and basically they went into the elements inside DevTools, and they found out what the name of the element, the container, was called that controlled the height of that section. And then they've got some code basically to call some CSS code to basically override that height to make it 100% of the available height. So I tried that. What that looks like is basically this part of the code plus a separate CSS file, which is just that. So I loaded both of those files in, CSS and the single component form, into my solution. So I've got the CSS code and this single component code, and then all I did was on the form put that on the onload, which is this one, form onload. So it's going to run this code onload basically, and that kind of worked. It definitely adjusted the height of the section properly, but it was adjusting it to a fixed height, and it was a very short height, not the height I wanted. I couldn't get it to be the height that I wanted. I could only, because every time you change the screen, it was basically overriding that value as well. Like it wasn't able to adjust the parameter every time the screen size was changed. So if I were to kind of drag it around and move it, it just was not working at all. So I needed to do something else as well as that. And what I found was a second blog where it's this single component tab in model driven forms. So basically you have a tab in the model-driven form, and you just put one field on it and one section on it. And then you only have this one line of code, which is this one form component get tab, set the content type to single component. And what that does is it changes the tab to, instead of having a section like that you can see on the edit form version, it actually gets rid of that section and just replaces it all with a single component. So it's kind of this whole thing here. And when I did that, it was able to detect the height of that component and make it 100% of the height, which is great. And it does actually change when I change this dynamically, which is also great. So now, for the first time ever, I feel, we have a custom page on a tab embedded in a model-driven form. And this is super powerful because we can just create our normal fields very quickly using the out-of-the-box form stuff. And then anything complicated we can do in here. And they don't have to open a separate dialog, and they don't have to navigate completely away to a brand new custom page screen. So yeah, thanks for watching.